I want to reassure you that the dazzling sunlight will fade shortly, and we'll enjoy a more sort of normal state of natural light. I want to just welcome everyone. My name is Sally Kenney, and I'm the Executive Director of the Newcomb Institute. And we started working on this issue 9 years ago after the Office of Civil Rights issued the Dear Colleague letter. And we share the conviction of Dr. Donna Freitas and many others that if we want to dismantle campus rape culture, faculty from across the disciplines must engage and frame the issue to encompass gender, misogyny, and racism rather than solely bureaucratic compliance, risk management, alcohol, or public relations. So we need thus not only an interdisciplinary approach, but an intersectional one. And as Professor Crystal Feimster and others have taught us, we cannot disentangle racism from the issue of rape and sexual misconduct in the United States. So this issue is very personal. I'm a survivor and an activist, an administrator and a scholar, and sometimes I actually feel like everybody I know has been sexually assaulted, and not just once. And I've just written my own survivor story, and its imminent publication fills me with dread, as I know what has happened to the survivors that we've invited here today who've bravely told their stories. At Tulane, the issue catapulted to the top of our campus agenda when the early results of our climate survey showed that we were registering higher numbers than had previously been reported, despite doing everything on the Dear Colleague menu. The results showed that it would be a mistake to see the issue as only affecting women, and we were woefully unprepared for understanding the exceptionally high risks that queer and gender non-conforming students faced. So we need to take an ecological public health approach to the epidemic of sexual assault on campus and recognize the traumatic effects of sexual violence as akin to the PTSD of combat, which cripples survivors' ability to learn and thrive. If 40% of our students contracted the coronavirus, we would declare a state of emergency, shut down the airport, quarantine the campus. Or if, as Princeton philosopher Anne McClintock rightly noted, if 25% of the university's trustees' cars were stolen on campus, or even if 25% of faculty lost their parking places, the university would shut down immediately until it found a solution to the problem. So despite a pandemic of sexual violence, no interruption of business as usual has occurred. Instead, universities have framed the threat to them as being actually the investigation by the Obama administration for a media scandal, like the ones Duke University, the University of Virginia, and Columbia are now thought to have successfully weathered. Like Miramax, Fox News, NBC, and on and on and on, universities find it easier to pay off a few select victims than tackle rape culture. Once the public relations danger has passed, and Trump replaced the leaders of the Office of Civil Rights and the Department of Education, universities can now safely move on to more important things, like winning football games or moving up in the rankings. Political scientist Carolyn Heldman has observed that it is a peculiar fact that each generation of anti-sexual violence activists believe that they are the first to tackle the issue. We in this room constitute what social movement scholar Thomas Rochon would call a critical community. It's important that we continue to advance knowledge by working together across the silos of our disciplines. We have enormous power to help shape discourse, even if we do not control public policy. So I remain hopeful that the opportunities social media provides for activists to stay connected and engage a new group of students, the spillover effects of Me Too, and the emergence of gender allies in the media will create opportunities for us to keep the policy window open, despite the many setbacks of the last 4 years. So ending rape and rape culture will entail a culture change akin to ending the slave trade or foot binding. So let's get to work. And with that, I'd like to begin our first program and welcome Professor Jennifer Fry to the podium. Her bio and all the bios of our speakers is on the back of your program. Welcome, Professor Fry.